as it is. All right, good. I like easy. All right, so if I just do a show run, I don't have to do the do preemptor. I can do any type of command anywhere in the config line, pretty much at any time. All right. So as you see here, I have gigabit Ethernet 0, gigabit 1, gigabit 2, and so on. All right. They're shut down. They do not have a named interface. They do not have a security level. They don't have an IP address. I'm going to go into gig 0, which is going to be my outside interface. I'm going to give it its IP. Everybody see that okay? No? Here. So interface G0. Alright. I'm going to name it outside. Now, if you name an interface outside, or if you name an interface inside, it's going to set, because these are common named interfaces, they're going to set a default security level. You name it anything else, if you name it Big Bird or DMZ or whatever, it's not going to set a security level whatsoever. But for outside, it's going to set it to 0 by default, and inside, it's going to set it to 100 by default. So those are commonly used names. So I don't have to set the security level. I will set the IP address though. And I will turn it on. Now you'll see that gig 00, security level is set to 0, it's got an IP address, yada yada. Now I'm going to do the inside interface, which is 10.0.0.1. T int G 0/1. Sorry, G1. Excuse me, G1. Name IF. Side. Oops. See how I made that it says by 0 by default? Now, name IF inside. If I name it inside, it sets it to 100 by default. Add 10.0.0.1, 24 bits. It's getting late, I can't type. Alright, perfect. So, that's that. Now, gig 2 is my DMZ. Gigabit 2 is my DMZ. Here's a, I forgot to do something here real quick, sorry. Now, with my DMZ interface, that's going to be a gig 2, int G2. Name IF DMZ. Now it's going to set to 0 by default, so that's the same level as my outside interface. But it should be a little bit more trusted than my outside interface. So the general rule of thumb, your first DMZ, your most secure DMZ, or hopefully your most secure DMZ, or if it's your only DMZ, should be set at 50. Smack dab in the middle. So if you ever have to create another DMZ, you have the opportunity to either make it lower or higher than the other. Okay? So I'm going to set the security level at 50. And the command is security-level 50. Now, question. I have two separate IP addresses up here in the DMZ. What should I address? What should I address that interface? Should I make it public? 204.186.21.1? Or should I make it private? 172.16.0.1? What should it be? Public or private? What does your gut tell you? Private. You're right. Okay? Why? Why is it more secure? What do I have to do in that case then? What? Yeah, it is, but what do I have to do in this case? I have to NAT. I have to NAT. Okay? It's that additional layer of security. If I just make it a 200, I don't NAT it, right? It just flows raw. I want to NAT. Anytime I have the opportunity to institute an additional layer of security, I'm going to do so. You should do so. So it's going to be 172.16.0.1. All right, turn it on. All right, now at this point in time, I want you to think about this real careful, guys. Think about this really, really, really careful. Let's look at our diagram. Let's just think about our routing table here real quick. So the 10 network is connected. The 172 network is connected. The 204.186.201.16/30 network is connected. If everything's connected, things will route. Things will route. What's the only routing statement I need to do in the ASA? What's the only route statement I need to do in the ASA? Give you a hint. I need to route a packet to 134.71.200.17. How do I do that? I need a default route. Okay? Most all devices, if they're routing, need a default route. Okay, whether they receive it through a dynamic routing protocol, you already statically put it in there, like in this case. Okay, so I'm going to do a default route, and you remember that when I did a default route, I had to do IP space route. Well, it's kind of similar, but it's more like Linux. You just do route, because it's automatically understood that you're doing IP. So, big T, route. What's my next hop? This way.
204.186.201.17.
Perfect. If I don't put commas in there, it's getting really late for me. It's about ready to turn into a pumpkin. Now, there's one other thing I have to do. Alright, because it's not going to take it. Before I can put that network command in there, I have to tell it what interface it's exiting. what interface it's exiting. It's kind of similar to some Linux distributions. So in this case, I have to use the interface name. So what's the interface that is closest to that direction? Outside. Now, there's one other thing I can do. All right? There's one other thing I can do. I can tell it to track the route depending on if I'm tracing any items. Don't worry about that right now. I can tell it to enable default tunnel. Don't have to worry about that right now. Or I can give it a default metric. I can give it a default metric. Okay? Now, default metrics only comes in handy when you're using multiple routes out the same path. All right? But it is best practice to use the common metric of a routing table in Cisco IOS. So, for those of you who remember what the common metric were for all your different dynamic routing protocols, what's your administrative distance, basically, for your routing protocols? Who remembers what the administrative distance is for a connected route? 0. Okay? For EIGRP, 90. OSPF, I think it was 100. All right? Static routes, 1. Okay, 1. So if you do any static route, if you put a 1 here, that's fine. Or it'll default to a 1 automatically. It'll default to 1 automatically. So I can just hit enter. Done. Right, Mem? On Wednesday, we'll pick up, we'll go through chapter 9, we'll pick up in